I thought she
Okay,
meant pole.
I have a question actually that's pole related that I feel like I would love to hear other dancers' opinion on. How come most poles are static in clubs?
I definitely feel like I can answer that.
And
Alright, go
I've
ahead.
always been curious.
Well, I think that like for the most part it's a safety issue.
Okay.
So, at Palomino, the back pole that spins really quickly. It's very fast and it's very thick. It's like a 50 millimeter. As a competitive dancer, you would never dance on something like that on a competitive stage. Also, it spins out of control. It's kind of a hazard if people don't know how to, dance on it. But I just think that like those poles haven't been replaced in like
Years.
a decade. Seriously. So, back in the day, like dancing on a spinny pole was not really like a priority. I think it's like a safety thing and also just like an old school thing. They don't really care about switching the poles, which
Yeah.
sucks. I wish they would care more.
That's what I figured it was, yeah.
Yeah, I really wish they would care more because it's like
And it's really easy to get one that just goes static and spin, right? Like, why not just let the girls
Get an
choose,
X
God
pole.
forbid, yeah.
right, get an X pole that spins.
One of those
well.
stage lights, I just like dream of it.
Yes, I know. I wish to, girl. I wish.
Iris, do you have any opinion on this?
I was just going to say, so one of the girls that I competed against in the Miss Palomino competition last year told me, and she's won multiple competitions across the country, told me that she doesn't do any spin pole tricks at all. She only does static, and that's because that's what they use in most professional pole competitions. My personal favorite is spin pole. There's a lot of physics that goes into it, the centrifugal force. It's funner. That's what I have to say. Static is fun, but I feel like spin pole is just so much more beautiful. You feel more like a ballerina or a figure skater. It's more entertaining to look at versus just doing a pose on the static. It's like, oh, she can hold that for a really long time. But if you're on the spin pole, it's like, oh, she can hold that for a really long time and there's motion.
I feel like I don't know what league she was competing in, but if she was competing in PSO, that's not true. There's a spin and there's a static pole because when you compete, they want to see that you're dynamic and you're flexible on spin. So if you can't do static properly or you don't feel like it's impressive, it's because you're not naturally a dynamic dancer. So dynamic is being able to create that spin on a static pole and also being able to like have that strength to go from like, handspring to outside leg hang to like more tricks. But being dynamic is a lot harder than being flexible on a spin pole. So I think that like that's why people don't like static pole. I personally like static because I'm naturally a dynamic dancer, but you're funny.
It's impressive.
I mean, but
It's a learned thing for me, but it's been taking time for sure. And the spin is just easier to be like.
I mean,
fluent.
it's easier for it to look beautiful.
At an
Dynamic
earlier,
can
yeah.
sometimes look kind of manly, depending on what you're doing. I
can
mean, and I
agree with
have a
that.
guy coach, so he teaches me a lot of like muscly things. So I get what you're saying for sure. I know, right?
Well, when I'm up there and I'm performing, like I just kind of move the way the music moves me. Like I don't think everything I know, I'm self-taught.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I just kind
Okay.
of I dance the way that I feel. And that
Right.
works really well for me. So I do some tricks on static and I do most of my tricks on spin, and the reason for that is because spin is more fun.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like static pull is definitely something you have to be taught. Not to say that you can't feel when you're being taught. It's just that it's a lot easier to learn how to be graceful when force is taking you by itself than when you learn how to be friends with gravity or learn how to spin yourself because there is such thing as
She
spinning
means
on a static
centrifugal
pole.
force is what she's looking for.
Yeah, I mean, you're the nerd here. You can chime in and help me out with those big words.
With the pole science, yeah, that's what I studied in school.
I mean, it kind of it
I wish I'd study that.
Well,
It's fascinating.
Centrifugal force is the reason that I dislocated and tore my rotator cuff.
Oh,
There
Jesus.
you go.
Ow.
It's powerful, guys.
Remember you were
Science is
saying-
real.
remember
Where's
you
my
were
camera?
saying
Right
how
there.
fast that pole
Science is
spins?
real.
it does. It
It
spins
does.
so fast.
And if you just have like a little bit too much motion, it's over.
it's yeah, it's out of control. I mean, I like the spinning fast, but Palomina's back pull does
Spinning
spin
fast,
really
girl.
fast.
People are like, whoa, they lose their minds. They tip so much, and all you're doing is holding on.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they tip for the most random moves, I
Dude,
swear. Like, they don't care about a
seriously.
shoulder. Like,
That's
no.
Yeah,
the
they're like,
other reason I like
whoa.
spin is because spin is visually, from a performance standpoint, spin is visually more impressive.